Le Blanche. Everybody loves a story of redemption, a story of triumph. Somebody who's gone through the fire, been through the worst of things, and came out on the other side victorious, standing tall. Well, in today's clip that I'm going to show you, we have somebody who did just that. He spent 25 years in prison, got out, turned his life around, and he was just something to model yourself behind, saying, you can do anything. It doesn't matter what you've been through. You too can turn your life around. So much so, he gained so much notoriety, he even landed on the Joe Rogan podcast. Watch this clip.
It was at that moment where I really said, I have to change my life. I have to change my life. I just can't do this. I had a wife. I had family still. My son was growing up. He was hearing stories about my so-called notoriety, and I just didn't want to be that dad. Like, I really was looking at myself and really evaluating, asking myself, like, yo, what the are you doing? I was smoking a lot of weed at the time. I was drinking jailhouse hooch, and I was at my worst. And I had to figure out how to get to my best.
So there it is. After 25 years in prison, we have a model human being, somebody who's out there making something of himself and being a role model and an example for people who might be living the type of lifestyle that he once lived. But do you ever really get rid of old habits? That's something that we could debate all day, every day.
Now to a shocking twist in a murder that stunned a neighborhood in the Bronx.
A man found dismembered inside an apartment. Now today, police arrested a man named Sheldon Johnston. He is a criminal justice activist, and he boasted about turning his life around after getting out of prison as recently as going on shows like the Joe Rogan podcast. Now tonight, he is back in handcuffs and he's facing murder charges. News 4's Ida Siegel is in Highbridge, where the crime scene investigators are still looking for evidence.
That's 48-year-old Sheldon Johnston being walked off in handcuffs, yelling to reporters that he didn't do what cops say he did. Murder, manslaughter, and criminal possession of a weapon. But police say this is also him, here on Summit Avenue Tuesday night, carrying cleaning supplies and a full black garbage bag in and out of this building. Police were called to apartment 6G after a neighbor heard gunshots and saw Johnston in and out of the apartment. She told the building super. When police entered the apartment, they found a man's torso and a foot inside a bin. Law enforcement sources say after seeing Johnston on surveillance footage, they searched his apartment and found the victim's legs, arms, and head in the freezer.
That's very disturbing.
Yeah.
It makes you want to move real quick.
Police say the victim is 44-year-old Colin Small. Sources say it's possible their dispute stemmed from time they spent together in prison. But folks in this neighborhood shocked to hear that a man who had worked so hard to turn his life around, even working with the Queen's Defender's Office, might have fallen back to his old ways in a very violent fashion.
Yes, he was turning his stuff around and stuff like that, but remember, we're creatures of habit. So whatever happened in his violent past probably crept back up, and there you go.
So at this point, Sheldon is declaring his innocence. He said that he didn't do what the police said he did. Well, that could be semantics, right? Just because the story that they formulated doesn't match what actually happened doesn't mean that you probably didn't do something gruesome. This is a sad story. To dismember somebody, you got to be a sick individual to be able to do this. But y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Leave it down in the comments. And until next time, I'm out.